Hi, my name is Zeise. I'm an investor in Capacio. I am running a software as a service company and also a consulting company myself, both of which actually have a connection to Capacio. So my role in the company is not so operational. It's more about helping them to provide the right processes, frameworks, and tools to develop the software and also to deliver the software in the cloud, basically. I've been with Capacio 13 months now, so a little more than a year. Came in contact with them fall 21 it was, and I was directly kind of excited about the offering, the science behind it, and also this use case of improving the talent acquisition process. And then it was a very good match between my background and where the company was at the time, because I had some things to bring to the table that Capacio had to establish, basically. And then this is still the case. There's always a lot to learn from each other when it comes to, as I said, frameworks and processes around the whole delivery. Having been in talent acquisition processes as a hiring manager, a lot of times I know that it is hard to find the right people. If you don't find the right people, it becomes very expensive and requires a lot of resources to correct a wrong hiring, both for the candidate and for the hiring company or the hiring manager. So obviously everything that can be done to improve this process is positive for both the candidate and the hiring company. And I kind of convinced me to use this kind of science and cognitive capabilities, basically, to add that to the mix that is already used in the different talent acquisition processes. And obviously, this is one use case. There are a lot of other use cases that these kind of tests and assessments can be applied to as well. The thing is a startup feeling. So a lot of is happening. It's very kind of quick decisions and things are moving fast. The funny and exciting thing around the whole process is, of course, that you see the results very quickly. So we've come a very long way during this time with all the people involved and all the people on board. And things are happening from having the test to actually going to the market and providing all the required infrastructure and processes around it. So that is what is exciting, to really see things moving forward and making things happen. What is always important is that you have the right mix of people on board. And even though Capacio is growing, I feel that there is the right mix of people and knowledge on board. You have on the one hand side all the specialists with the knowledge behind it, the scientists with the knowledge around the science behind it that is obviously required when you develop these kind of tools, which is kind of the basis and the framework everything is founded upon. But then you have the whole technical aspect with the developers. You need the product team pushing the product forward and knowing what actually should be developed. So I think it's a great mixture of people, and that is also the takeaway from this adventure, that it takes a lot of different profiles and a lot of different people with a lot of different knowledge to actually make this happen. I think I might actually use, it's two words, but open-minded, I think, is maybe the term that I would use. As I recently explained, that it is people from different backgrounds working together, and everybody's open to learn, everybody is open to hear each other's opinion. Yeah, that makes a good culture to develop something potentially disruptive. I help, as I said, a lot with process, frameworks, platforms for the whole development and delivery of the service. And this is partially, of course, the software development process. How do we do this in a structured and smart way? All from how do we capture requirements? How do we push them into the DevOps pipeline? And how are they developed? How are they released? So the whole part of the development process and the tools involved there, this is the one part. And then the second part is once the software is developed, you obviously have to deliver it to the customer, which requires your own software, but also a lot of other stuff around it. And here I provide, once again, tools, knowledge, and frameworks to deliver the software, and also help with decisions. Maybe what do we develop ourselves? What do we build or buy decisions, things like that. If there is something that the company is looking for, how can we resolve this specific problem? I can often either provide an answer myself, or I have a network to do so, to maybe find the best services and softwares out there that we can use in order to deliver our own service. The difference is once again the product that we are, or that Capacio is delivering. Obviously, it is a software, and or it is delivered as a software. It wasn't originally a software, but now it is delivered as something you do on your phone and you access via a computer. So it's a software company in that terms. But once again, behind it, when you look at the tests that are done and the science behind how to interpret the results and what they mean, this is something different compared to maybe other software deliveries. I don't know if you implement an ERP system or a finance system or something, you obviously have your postings and your accounting logic behind it. But here you have another type of kind of science behind it that you have to take into consideration. And as I mentioned before, that also means a lot of interfaces towards the scientists, basically doing the requirements, how it should work. So this is something that is a bit special compared to another software company or software delivery company. We're focusing on talent acquisition and then maybe also talent management right now. So obviously this is the first use case we should crack. But then I'm personally a bit excited about everything that has to do with the sports and assessment of players and teams, different types of sports. So this is something that is getting me a little bit excited. I'm not sure if this is the use case that will come next, but that's something that is exciting for my part. And I think it's just exciting to see that there is a method where you can actually measure the ability to perform at a certain position, and kind of can explain why you might be a good striker or why you might be a good defense player. So I think this is very interesting to see. I mean, it's one thing to see a great footballer on the field. It's another one to maybe add a little bit in the puzzle to understand why he or she is so great on the field. I like what I do. I'm very fortunate to be able to say that I enjoy work. Very often I don't have this harsh Monday morning feeling. When it is rainy and the motivation is low, I just get my act together and do it anyway.